Hey there, and welcome to the Daily Manchester United News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Bruno Fernandes says the criticism of his captaincy style is unfair. Bruno Fernandes says today's Champions League match against Galatasaray is the kind he dreamed of as a child. The United skipper was speaking at the pre-match press conference ahead of today's crunch game in Turkey, which is a must-win if his side wants to stay in the competition. He said, "Obviously, for us it's really important to be in the competition. We want to be in the middle of the best clubs in Europe. It's obviously disappointing if we don't go through, but I'm not thinking about that at the moment. I'm just focused on the game against Galatasaray because the only way we can go through is by beating Galatasaray and going to the last game with a chance to go through. So our focus at the moment is on winning the game. The atmosphere will be intense, but as a kid, you enjoy and you want to be in this kind of stages, big stadiums, big atmospheres, so you just have to enjoy the challenge." Attention then turned to his captaincy style and what he thought about the criticism from fans about it. He said, "No, obviously you don't like to be criticized, but at the same time, I have to do what I think is the best for the team. It's normal since I arrived at the club when I first arrived, because you are doing something different. It's all flowers, but after those first games, the expectations are always higher and higher. Not keeping the same number of assists or goals sometimes is a problem for me in the criticism because they are going to take from there. Now it's the captaincy, so they are gonna focus on that, but I'm open and so far everyone is pretty happy with my leadership." Fernandes was also asked about Alejandro Garnacho's wonder goal, an overhead kick against Everton. He said, "We expect moments like that from Garnacho. He is a special kind of talent that can have moments like that to help us win games. Pellistri is also capable to do it. Rasmus is also capable." Erik says he wants young Manchester United winger to follow Alejandro Garnacho path. Erik has detailed what Facundo Pellistri needs to do to be able to start for Manchester United consistently. Facundo Pellistri has been limited to bit part roles for Manchester United this season, but has made a few starts for the Red Devils, including a starting berth in the 4-3 Champions League defeat to Bayern Munich on matchday 1. However, the Uruguayan who shone during the most recent international break is continuing to prove himself off the bench for the Red Devils. Erik sent on Pellistri for Alejandro Garnacho, who scored a wonder goal, and the former Penarol winger looked impressive. Now the manager wants Pellistri to follow Garnacho to fight for a starting spot. As quoted by the Manchester Evening News, ahead of today evening's crucial Champions League clash against Turkish giants Galatasaray, the Dutchman has challenged the Uruguayan to break into the United team. He said, "Pellistri must now become a starter and take that step forward. He has to make also a step from bench player coming in and having a good impact to a starting 11 player. We will see how quick that process will take." The right winger has done enough to warrant a starting place, but whether the time is right for the Dutchman to throw the forward into a game of this magnitude remains to be seen. Pellistri, however, looks ready. Ten Hag has confirmed Antony is back in training, but the winger has struggled for consistency this season. However, every time Pellistri is on the pitch, he looks to be a breath of fresh air. The time is now for the Uruguayan to start from the off for the Red Devils. Erik says Kobbie Mainoo is ready to face Galatasaray. Manchester United manager Erik has said that Kobbie Mainoo is ready to face Galatasaray in Wednesday's Champions League group stage clash at Rams Park. The Red Devils registered a 3-0 victory over Everton in the Premier League over the weekend. It was their first league win this season with a margin of more than one goal. Mainoo was handed his full Premier League debut for the club in the same game. The teenager was one of the standout performers, making a crucial goal line clearance. Speaking in yesterday's press conference, Ten Hag was asked whether Mainoo might start again, and the Dutchman responded in the affirmative by saying via manunited.com, "If they are good enough, they are old enough. We are very pleased with the performance at Everton, but it's one performance and you have to do it on a consistent base. Kobbie is so mature, but you are only good as your last game. Keep your focus on the game. You have to focus on your game, your performance, and get the right levels in. When we observe, if a player is moving away from football and getting distracted, we will tell them." The teenager had a brilliant start to pre-season with United. He was fantastic in the 2-0 win over Arsenal. He made an assist, won 100% of his duels, and had a passing accuracy of 95%. Mainoo was rewarded with another start versus Real Madrid, but he lasted for just 2 minutes before suffering a freak knee injury which resulted from Casemiro's push on Rodrigo. As a result, the United graduate was ruled out for months, but he has returned in time for the festive schedule. Mainoo delivered a fantastic showing against the Toffees last weekend. He won 5 duels and was also influential in the box, blocking one shot and making a goal line clearance. In our view, he has earned the right to start in the upcoming game in Istanbul. As Ten Hag said, Mainoo needs to be focused on his job ahead. If he can deliver another top showing, he stands a good chance of establishing himself as a regular defensive midfielder. Rio Ferdinand makes a huge claim regarding Man United star. Man United legend Rio Ferdinand has claimed that Inter Miami star Lionel Messi unfollowed Alejandro Garnacho on Instagram because the Argentina forward openly prefers Cristiano Ronaldo. Garnacho has long been an admirer of the Portuguese superstar and has publicly admitted Ronaldo is his idol. The youngster is teammates with Lionel Messi when meeting up with the Argentina national team, and Rio Ferdinand has made a bold claim about the two on his podcast. The former footballer said on his podcast Vibe with Five, "My lad said to me that Messi unfollowed him on Instagram because he comes out, don't care, I am a Ronaldo man, who is the GOAT, Ronaldo, when he is in the Argentina squad." Casemiro ready to quit Manchester United ahead of possible Saudi transfer. This season will be Casemiro's last at Manchester United. That's according to a recent report from Football Insider, who claims the Brazilian midfielder is ready to quit the Red Devils in the summer. Despite enjoying an impressive first season at Old Trafford, Casemiro, who joined from Real Madrid in the summer of 2022, is a favorite to be sold in the upcoming windows as Erik Ten Hag looks to rebuild his squad. Set to welcome Sir Jim Ratcliffe to the club after the British billionaire became a 25% shareholder, Manchester United are preparing for a sporting overhaul, and Casemiro, a player heavily linked with a lucrative move to Saudi Arabia's Pro League, looks set to be the first big-name player out the door. Kobbie Mainoo's Premier League debut away against Everton on Sunday wouldn't have helped Casemiro either. The young midfielder was superb against Toffees and had it not been for Alejandro Garnacho's wonder goal, would have dominated headlines all across the country. Nevertheless, with Ten Hag openly admitting that if players, irrespective of their age, are good enough to play, they will play, Casemiro's time at the top of European football seems to be coming to an end. During his time at United, the former Real Madrid midfielder, who has up to 3.5 years left on his contract and, according to Spotrac, earns £350,000 per week, has scored 11 goals and registered 7 assists in 63 games in all competitions. Valencia and Real Sociedad eyeing potential summer move for Manchester United forward Mason Greenwood. Valencia and Real Sociedad have joined Getafe in the race for Manchester United forward Mason Greenwood ahead of the summer transfer window, according to The Sun. The 22-year-old is currently on loan at Getafe after the Red Devils announced in August that he will no longer play for the club. Greenwood last featured for Man United in January 2022 but has had charges of attempted rape and assault against him dropped by the Crown Prosecution Service. However, he was shipped out on loan to Getafe and has impressed at the La Liga club, netting 4 goals in 11 appearances. The Spanish club would love to sign him permanently, but they are set to face competition from Valencia and Sociedad. They have sent scouts to watch the Man United forward and have been impressed with his performances. Greenwood has bagged 2 goals and 3 assists in his last 8 games for Getafe, and his form is also attracting other Spanish clubs. With a return to the Old Trafford club off the table, a move to a team challenging for a place in Europe could be appealing to the Man United academy graduate. He will not be short of suitors if he continues to bang in the goals, and Greenwood is desperate to prove himself elsewhere after running into trouble back home. Playing in the Premier League again could be permanently off the cards for the youngster following his career-threatening legal battles. However, the chance to establish himself in one of the biggest leagues in Europe is there for him to seize, and he will look to grab the opportunity with both hands. Greenwood has most likely played his last game for Man United, but a move to another big club outside of England cannot be completely ruled out. Man United in the front line to sign João Neves, but Benfica aim to increase release clause. Manchester United are in the front line to sign Benfica midfielder João Neves, but they may need to pay more for his services, according to Record. The 19-year-old is one of the most sought-after young midfielders in European football. He has made huge progress since his debut at the start of last season. The teenager is currently an undisputed starter in midfield for the Portuguese champions, and the club are keen to reward him with a new improved contract. Neves signed a new long-term deal in August this year, but he continues to remain the lowest paid starter at Benfica, with a salary of just over €600,000 per season. Sporting director Rui Costa is keen to reward him with a fresh deal. He also plans to increase his current release clause from €120 million to €150 million in the process. Record claim that United are in the front line to sign Neves with capital letters, but Costa is said to be determined to keep Neves beyond the current campaign. Benfica are reluctant to accept anything less than his buyout clause at the moment. A transfer for Neves could get more expensive if he commits to a fresh renewal. Neves has developed immensely since his breakthrough last term. He is a defensive midfielder by trade, but has also played in central midfield or on the right wing. This season, he has a passing accuracy of 91% in the Primera Liga. He has won a stunning 2.4 tackles and 7.3 duels per appearance with 4.8 ball recoveries. Neves has already showed plenty of maturity at his age and should only get better. He has all the hallmarks of becoming a world-class midfielder in a few years' time. Record claim that United are the favourites to sign him, but Manchester City, Liverpool, Newcastle United and Barcelona are also monitoring his progress in Lisbon. In our opinion, the contract talk is being highlighted to speed up the process of his departure. We saw something similar with Gonzalo Ramos last season. The forward did not pen a new deal for the whole campaign and went on to join Paris Saint-Germain. Benfica accepted €40 million less than Ramos €120 million release clause last summer, they could hold out for a higher sum for Neves, as he is 3 years younger and has more potential. Neves, who was recently described as a great player by United captain Bruno Fernandes, would be a fantastic acquisition for United, but a deal won't be straightforward. Tottenham Hotspur join race for Man United target as a January price is set. Premier League rivals Tottenham Hotspur have reportedly joined the race to sign Nice star and reported Manchester United target Jean-Claire Todibo. Todibo was heavily linked to United during the 2023 summer transfer window, but a move never materialized. His signing was hugely dependent on Harry Maguire's exit. United accepted a bid from West Ham for Maguire, but when the Englishman's proposed switch to the Hammers collapsed, an Old Trafford transfer for Todibo also never get over the line. Nevertheless, it's understood that the Red Devils are still keen on adding the Frenchman to their ranks, with the recruitment of defensive reinforcement high on Erik Ten Hag's agenda for the upcoming windows. Todibo is currently enjoying an incredible season with Nice, who are second in the League One, behind reigning champions Paris Saint-Germain with just 1 point. According to the Standard, Ten Hag's side will need to be wary of Tottenham, who are plotting a swoop for the highly coveted Todibo. The report read, Tottenham have joined the race to sign his defender Jean-Claire Todibo as they prepare to enter the transfer market for a new centre-back in January. Spurs are desperate for defensive reinforcement and are ready to rival Man United and Liverpool for France international Todibo. Spurs have made a new centre-back their top priority in January, but they are expected to face competition from some of the best clubs in Europe for Todibo. The newspaper explains that the 23-year-old Nice star could be obtained for just £39 million in January, hardly a crazy sum considering the huge amounts clubs demand to part with their players these days. As we wrap up today's Manchester United news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.